Hello! I hope you hear us well. I hope you are there, chat. Please show yourself because it's a special stream for Owlcat Games. A level design stream. So, my name is Lisa, I'm a community manager of Owlcat Games. Here's Yulia, a game designer, and we have a special guest today. You haven't seen him yet. We'll fix that. It's Andrey Saenko, our level designer. And that's basically all we are going to talk about today.
Okay, hello. My name is Andrey and I'm a level designer here at Owlcat Games. I and my colleagues, we are making all the levels in Pathfinder vs. Righteous. And today I'm gonna talk a lot, I suppose, about what we do, why we do, and I'll tell some interesting stories about our locations, at least about my locations that I know the most about, because we have a big team of level designers. Each one makes different locations, and only the one who make its location knows every single nook and cranny.
And I think that's the most interesting thing. So you can give us some details of your creation.
Of your baby.
Yeah, my many babies. I love them all.
I like this comment. Arms says, the level designer has a Doom shirt. That explains.
Yeah. I love Doom and I love killing demons, and it fits really well to our game that we're working at. Like, no matter what tool you use to kill them.
Heads off. Choose your destiny. So for guys who will watch it on YouTube, it's okay. It's a tradition. We have these golden tools there, which are viewers spend to make us do some stupid things. Please choose a hat.
Do you have a Doomslayer helmet?
No.
We have this helmet for you.
Okay.
It would be pretty awesome if we would have a Doomslayer helmet.
Yeah.
I'd love to. I hope we'll widen our collection.
Yeah, that's a really good addition.
So, please tell our viewers which exact locations have you been working on, and what are we going to talk about today?
Okay. I made several locations. I made the entire Voljiv quest, every location. I made a Strahd Tower. I made Grey Garrison. Also, I made every quest in Trickster's Mystic Pass. And I'm currently making a very interesting location in the later chapters that I
I'm not allowed to,
to
talk about.
I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it will be very big and very unusual.
Yeah, and really nice fights will be there like this. Painful, suffering fights.
You're literally describing the whole game. Right
No,
now.
not really. Not the whole. Sadly, not the whole, but we are fixing it.
Also, I made 2 small locations in Chapter 4, and one of which I will show you some footage of later.
And that being said, now you know the exact location Andrey been working on. Chat, you are free to ask any questions, especially if you already played beta, but please, pretty please, no spoilers. We'll try to avoid them as well as we could possibly do.
Okay, good to know.
But yes, but you are free to ask, so we're waiting for your questions. But that's questions and answers. It's not all what will be today, because Andrey prepared something for you.
I can start from telling our our viewers what exactly the level designers do. Um, Level designer, especially in our project, he's the one who connects both stories that is written by our really great narrative designers and connects with our artists to make the gameplay be covered in a beautiful art of our locations. Like we make the basics, the basic layout, the blockout, and then we give it after some plantation for sure. Then we give it to our level artists, and they turn out our blocks into some really cool looking locations. And so therefore we always have to communicate with with our narrative team, also with artists, and for sure with game designers and programmers, because game designers make mobs, every monster for our location, like that we take and assemble encounters from these. These are our like chess in our hands. Like we take a few single monsters and turn them into, I hope, interesting encounters that you go through during your playtime. And also we're scripting every event that was written by our narrative team. Like we get dialogues and the description of the events that should take place in the location that you're working on, and then we make it live, like from text into the events in the game. Like, so if you do a quest and something goes wrong, you can blame us a little.
Not only Nanki, but also level.
Yeah, but you can blame an Anki as well.
That's the first thing
Yeah.
you should do.
Yes.
I'll quickly answer a question from the chat that is not connected to our theme today, but boss page, the final part of the community quest closed? Question mark. Yeah, we today we've published like the outcome of the events, the final story of the final choice our character made. He, because of your choices previously, he chose to the angel mythic path. And all is left the final trailer of the community quest. We are making it currently, and we'll show it to you as far as it will be ready. So yeah, and if you're interested in like the story and how is it treated in this final thing, you can go to pretty much any our social network. We've just published it today earlier. And what else I wanted to say? Firstly, we promised to make the 5 choices, but well, we had to stop here because during the first choice our community have chosen the evil path. But during the next 3 choices, you chose the good path, which is of course annoying Yuli. And this final 5th choice, well, it wouldn't have
Any effect.
decided anything.
Yes.
So yeah, we have what we have.
So
Please stay tuned and definitely watch the final trailer when we will publish it.
there was a question. What is the most challenging part of your job as a level designer?
There are a lot of challenging parts. The more challenging part is, of course, meeting the deadlines. Yeah, we have a lot of work to do, and we always run out of time, but we manage to do it. I hope in a good way. And the second most challenging part is just to come out with a basic idea of the location. Like when I start working on a location, I just get a script about single events that should take place in this location, and then I start to think what I can grow over it. Like for example, in our big dungeons, there may be 3 or 4 main story events, but the whole dungeon is much bigger, and the rest is the content and the ideas that come from us, from level designers, and then and it's always a challenge to come up with the first idea. Like well, you have some pieces of the story, and you have to figure out where they would take place, what will be there, and what will be in between. And I always want to add something from me to the location to expand the story and the believability of the world. Like we have a great story, but apart from this, our main goal is to create a location that you can remember, and that you can believe that it is real.
Put some life in it.
Yeah.
Yep. Nice.
And it's really difficult.
So assembling pieces of puzzle is your destiny.
Yeah. So when you get the task, you gotta assemble these pieces together, and it takes quite some time before you start to actually work on the layout, the blockout, and scripting things.
I like this question, the last.
I don't see.
Would we read it?
Is there something you wanted to implement to the game but couldn't because of engine limitations?
Please
Ah.
say something about it.
Oh, there's really a lot. We would all love to make big vast locations, but we're limited. But not due to the art parts like particles, but more due to
Optimization.
the mechanics. The more AI you have in the game, the more interactive objects. It's all
Weighs a lot.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
It affects performance a lot, and like you can make a big and a sparse location, but if you want to make something condensed, like it's hard for our engine, and
I think Great Garrison can be a very good example,
yeah,
wasn't it?
Yeah.
Because I think you've had some difficulties because of our engine limitations.
Yeah, exactly. And the main problem is due to we have to make it possible for past-gen consoles to run our game and our levels, and therefore we are aiming at the memory that is available on on PS4 and Xbox One, and therefore, like in Great Garrison, I don't know if some of you played the first alpha. All 3 floors of the Great Garrison were a single location, and after that I had to divide it into two separate locations with a loading screen. So the 3rd floor is now a separate location due to the limits of our engine.
I think there's also a limitation that there is certain amount of active units that you
Yeah,
can have on the map. So, Like sometimes even making something very livable is very difficult. So yeah. Another question: how close does the level design team work with the other teams? Item, story, and encounter designer. Like very close. Too close, I would say. I'm just like,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, just I would prefer just not work with all this. Just like okay, it would be it would be so much easier. Yeah, never see level designers.
Yeah, yeah. Every time I write her, hello.
Not just like my.
She pretends like she's not there.
No, I don't pretend, but I just like I think he can imagine this look in my eyes, like, what now? What? Leave me alone. I'm joking. But yeah, I think we work pretty close in general. Like,
Yeah, and we had some really great collaborations that turned out into really
really good
cool encounters.
yeah, I think for instance, items and encounter design on my side, like each time the level designer give us any task, like they give us tasks like we need this kind of item or we need this kind of monsters for such encounter and so on and so forth. Usually we go back to level designers and then we just talk about what it is going to be, what can we do, because some of the mechanics we can do as a game designers, but some of the mechanics level designer has to do. So like what do you do, like traps, locators, for instance, for trap
locators and every
summoning monsters like waves.
yeah script zones, every that trigger events and everything. Every location has a lot of
stuff, yes.
Really a lot of stuff, and due to our plot and the variety of choices that you can take, every location you may not see every event in the location in a single playthrough, but when we make a location, we make them all. They are all in there, just waiting for you to come in certain circumstances.
Yes.
And to trigger the special event that is prepared for that current situation. And yeah, and sometimes we start to make a location that has no or not enough monsters available of required level, and then we ask our fellow game designers to make some.
Yeah. Especially, I think on the later chapters, which we're not going to disclose what happens, it's basically like no core from the like no standard monster from bestiary that works. So you have to come up with something new, unique, and then you just like, shit, that's CR is too high. How to work with this challenge rating? What are we doing? Like this should be difficult to the player. Well, it should be a challenge, but it shouldn't be impossible to fight. So it's just like,
yeah, like when I started to work on the location from the later chapter, I started to look at what do I have.
There's just like nothing.
It was 1, 2.
That basically
3.
the work of community managers.
Yeah,
What do we have? Nothing.
And then
We have to come up with
Julia,
something.
and what?
and I'm just like, what?
I need.
Yes, and I'm just like, shit, I'm living. Yes.
And she has done it. Yeah.
We will see. We will see in the final game how good I did my job in balancing everything.
To be continued.
Yeah, that's a teamwork. That's the way we do it here at Owlcat Games.
Oh, that is a good. There is a good question. Do you have to approach the level design differently now when you have to consider that the player can rotate the camera?
Yeah, sure. There are two sides of this aspect. The one aspect is that a fixed camera angle ensures that the player, like we can make multi-layered locations, like with different height levels. And if you have a fixed camera, like you can make such locations rather easily, because player can't rotate the camera, so it cannot go inside the wall or mountain. And when you have a rotating camera, it's harder to make it not annoying when you rotate camera and accidentally get into some big object. So this should be considered, and it's always a trade-off when you when you have to make, like if you're making Drezen, for example, it has to have large walls, and you can't make a fortress without large walls.
And doors.
See more tomorrow as we will release a rotating camera developer diary.
Yeah.
That's true. We were
Oh
going
yeah,
to.
true. Why not? Oh, by the way, tell me, how do you feel about doors in general?
Oh, doors! I love doors. Jim Morrison, one love.
Not those doors. It was good, but no. Because like I think
You
everyone
won't run away with
everyone
that.
hates doors. What do you think about them?
Well, door is a very important tool of a level designer.
Mm-hmm.
First, but there may be situations where doors can be a problem.
Like in general, per se.
Well, when I make level, I suppose that the doors work as intended.
Oh, this is a rookie mistake. I'm joking. Yes,
Yeah,
I know
I
this.
hope that it will be fixed and the doors will work as they should without any problems. Like quite recently, when we were making beta, we added turn-based mode, and I think 2 or 3 days before we are going to release it publicly, we found that in turn-based mode you can pass through the closed door, and I was shocked because it ruined a lot of my
Mechanics?
Yeah, like I know the route of the player, like opening door may trigger some events, and door broke out of nowhere, and nobody expected it. So doors, yeah, they are dangerous. They're powerful, but they are dangerous.
Yeah, I think in current beta there is also, as far as I know, it's a bug that you can't move your party members through your like you can't move through your party members.
We were
So
discussing
you yes,
it.
so you just
recently.
stuck in front of the door with all this, especially when you have a lot of
I
animal
had
companions.
this one on stream, by the way.
No, I had this when I tested some areas in it was in chapter 3 Midnight Fane when I tested it, just like move.
By the way,
Just move.
this exact thing helped me to win one encounter, quite an important one in Great Garrison.
You can
They
always
were in the room.
This one with the Aturibo, with the alchemist.
I think I don't know
There
how
are
to
two.
describe.
I think it's
this
Aturibo would be.
There are several counters in Grey Gardens that can be that are easy if you place in a tank in the door.
Yeah.
While
That's
you
what I did.
most people hate doors, the doors are your tools. They are bottlenecks that you can place tank into.
Tactics.
It is good when you can place tank and then the enemies cannot walk through your tank. The problem is when you place a tank and no one, especially and you as well, can move through this tank. It's just
But
like-
you have Lan, who just
you know,
And
sometimes
Randolph,
sorry, sometimes land is not enough.
of course, because that's why you also have your mages and that all the
Sometimes,
other
sometimes monsters annihilate you too
AoE.
fast. While you cast, it's a standard action. So, no, but yeah, true.
You just need to have a line.
Oh, I
Shoot.
don't like doors. I like
Why?
a big arch because I can move. I'm not like I don't really like to tank. Like this really nice strategy when you place tank, then you just kill. I just like let's rush and kill. Basically, that's my main methodology.
Does it work?
Sometimes.
Andrey, you have prepared some nice screenshots and videos for us.
Sure.
Maybe we'll show something, some exact things, something tasty.
Oh, you want that
Something
tasty?
interesting.
Wild.
I think they all are interesting, by the way.
Okay.
But I will start with anything you would like to show first.
What do you
Okay.
like?
We have.
Cold Bluff, not so tasty, no.
What's there?
Tasty Chapter 5 level design sneak peeks? Nope.
But there is one.
But
for
there's some
course.
some closer. Yeah, no, we cannot show you our levels from the 5th chapter, but I can show you a sneak peek of one small location of the chapter 4. We have some special mechanics that
This
I'll
one.
tell- yeah, this one. That were implemented for chapter 4. We call it floating islands, and basically when you rotate the camera on a certain angle, the isles start to move, and there's one location that I can show you.
Oh,
I hope it will work because it
while Lisa
doesn't do
is
yet.
setting it up, how long does it take to make a level?
Depends on the size of the level. And like if there is a small level like for some companion quest when you just go there and fight or have some dialogues, it's much faster than when you're making a big dungeon. Like Grey Garrison took really a lot of time to make it. Has
Like
too
for
many-
instance, like several weeks, several months, several years.
Yes, several weeks, about a month, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, and
And still, then you have to polish it. So it's,
yeah.
it's never-ending job actually.
Yeah, you can always polish everything. You can make your every level. You can make it better and better. And I hope we will make it. Yeah, well, like the first priority is always fixing bugs that you find in beta or in
I
alpha.
need to try to
Okay.
be sure it works.
Oh,
it
it
does. So
So,
I will be able to start when you tell me.
Okay, it's tower. It's tower in a big city that you'll get into when you get into the chapter 4, and it turned out to be pretty unique even for the look of that city, which is very unique by itself. It's a tower, and our artist somehow says that it's tower that's turned upside down, but I don't think so. It's just a unique form of a tower, and it has it's a magic tower, and you can see it's
a kind of magic.
Let's show it.
Yeah,
Let's see it. Because
let's
I'm
do it.
curious. I haven't seen it.
It has
the first
recorded sound. Would you command something during the video? It's quite a long one.
I may.
Okay.
The sound is not that loud. It's the first official
So-
sneak peek of the chapter 4 that
I'm
you
curious
can see.
how it
so
looks as well.
I won't turn it too much down, but I will still leave the microphone on, so if you want to comment, please go.
This video doesn't spoil anything.
Uh-huh.
Like there's gonna be traps and puzzles, but right now I'll show you just the way it works. Like when you rotate the camera for 90 degrees, this platform starts to move. Like some of them rotate, some of them move up and down. It depends, and when it's in a certain position, we'll use it to move.
Oh, this is so cool.
So that's the place where our new turning camera works, and it's full because it's also connected with the brother.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's really awesome.
I like the comment. I like how this moves a lot faster than the ones in the city.
Yeah, that's due to they look a little different from the ones. Like this one works on certain angles, and if it's initially I was making it more slow, like 3 or 5 seconds, but then I figured out that it's too long that you can switch to a different angle before it reached its position. So I made it faster, so it's really hard to mess it.
This looks so cool.
Yeah, and here's
I do remember the discussion about lifts in general. Now I understand what this discussion was about. I've never seen a lift in our game.
yeah, that lift was actually my improvisation.
Ooh, I like it. I like it so much.
And everything.
Oh, they
Yes,
keep
yes.
turning
Yeah.
on their other level.
It's so weird.
Yeah, it's a magic
Yeah,
tower.
it's beautiful.
It is.
I like these purple colors. They're matching our game style.
Yeah.
It is indeed beautiful. Now I want to play our game. Like I'm even okay with suffering. That's ooh, that reminds me.
I'm not sure.
There is a comment from Bao420. I'm glad they seem to have some safety features and don't move when you walk on them.
Yeah, yeah. When you're on the platform, it doesn't move.
Doesn't move?
Yeah, like if you get on the platform, I'm not sure that I can show it, but if you're on the platform and you rotate the camera, it won't move. But all
Others?
others will move.
Oh.
This is basically the idea of the puzzle there.
Oh. Puzzle.
It's not
Difficult?
It's not difficult at all, but it's just
You
it's just-
underestimate my stupidity. It will be difficult for me.
Well, that's a totally. Oh, it's over.
Okay.
It's a totally another type of puzzle. You haven't
Yeah.
seen anything like that in our games yet.
Yeah, because we didn't have such features as moving
yes.
stuff. Camera.
Yeah. Yeah, this puzzle is not hard. It's just to show this gimmick on
Nice.
the level. It looks nice and it plays well. It doesn't require you a lot of brain power to figure out
Should be fun.
how to use it. Yeah, it should be fun. And it's short and sweet. It's a small location in a big city. The city is awesome.
I already see Chat loves that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is beautiful. Now I have a kind of some pressure on myself to ensure that the encounter is also really nice so people can enjoy our game.
You can do it.
As long as I survive, I'm fine with that.
I hope you survive.
Ah?
I hope you survive.
I hope as well. So now,
You still have tasks for me to do.
if only from you, I just like half of our team is just like you that did this.
Yeah.
I'm just like,
No, there is a comment. Perfect
You're a strong one. You make it.
Perfect place to hide some optional secrets. What about secret hunting and hiding? Do you like making them?
Perception checks, stealth checks,
Apart
Hidden stashes.
apart from the base mechanics like perception checks, the rotating camera is very useful when you can hide your object like we do it in real life. So you like in Grey Garden, there's one chest that is not hidden, it's not locked, it just stays there, and
In the corner somewhere.
yeah, it's a really nice corner. And I was in Discord during the alpha, and people say, "Hey, there's one tip for the puzzle is missing. I can't find a note about the hand, the hand of
Inheritor?
Yeah." And people say, I think I've even seen some bugs that there's one note is missing. No, it's not missing.
It's just hidden.
It's just hidden. It's not under perception. It's just
Right before
Really?
your eyes.
yeah. And when I hear such comments, I just open the map in game. I open the mini map, and I can see it. Like
It is there. I can see.
it's
Just
there.
loot everything.
Yeah,
Loot
yeah.
everything.
Like people are posting screenshots from their mini map and say, "Hey, there's no."
But it is there.
And
But I see it, and I say it's there. I can see it, and you can see it, but I'm not sure if you can see it in game. But it's there.
yeah,
I guarantee
exactly
it.
the same as some people had difficulties with the key, let's say, to another
There are all of them.
to some secret narrative-wise secret at the start of the game.
Prologue?
The prologue.
The maze,
The maze, yeah.
like with these colors.
Yeah, that's
It was
the
an
one.
interesting story. So when I first
It's also
played,
connected with rotating the camera.
yeah. So when I first played the game, I think it was around alpha. So I noticed portraits. I just like, okay, yes,
She didn't say it.
cool stuff. I just noticed them, so I paid them attention. But when I came to the puzzle itself, I didn't. I
You
didn't
didn't
get it.
mention it.
Yeah, and I just like, that's interesting. Weird stuff. Why it is here? I tried to play with them right there, but no, I just like, and then I forgot. I'm just like, and I was just like, and then I was writing to our level designer chat, just like, what the hell is that? How should I solve it? I don't understand. I was just like, Yulia, come on, it is there. Just like, okay, puzzles is not for me. Something I'm very bad at.
To be honest, I'm also not good at puzzles, at solving puzzles. So every puzzle
You should be
that
good
I
at
make,
making them.
every puzzles that I make, I make them quite easy. Like if you meet a difficult puzzle in our game, you must may be sure that it was not made by me.
So,
Oh, yes,
so
we know.
Andrey is your friend, don't blame Andrey.
There are some people in our team who really love puzzles.
Yeah.
As always, we always are divided by some
Oh
ideas.
yes, it's true. It's true. I like puzzles, easy puzzles. Like the puzzle as a level, just press this button and it will open something. I like this kind of puzzles.
Oh, you'd like our new traps?
Some more spoilers here?
Oh.
What? What are you doing? Say
We
no more. I
have-
don't know what you're talking about. I don't want to.
It's not in there so far, but it will be in a few days in our project, and it will be seen in the update to the beta. You can meet a trap where that you cannot disarm by just disarming it itself. It is disarmed by a button, and so you'll need to when you see such trap, you'll see a line connected to the button, but it will require you to get there. And sometimes it's easy, but sometimes it's not that easy. Well, we'll see. It's a new feature, and
I really like Man at Arm 3. Instead,
Yeah.
you need to disarm it by tossing Volgif indeed.
That's how we do it. Oh,
Somehow, I actually read it as instead you'll need to disarm it by tossing Yulia into it. I'm just like, yes, please.
for me, it's also funny because we had small kind of community quest. We've been making like a year or two ago. We've been making a small text quest on Vkontakte and Facebook, which we also asked, where we also asked community to make the choice. And there was a moment where there was a trap, and actually community was able to toss a party mate to the
To the trap?
to the trap, and they did it. So yeah, and then if I remember correctly, that teammate died, but they raised him and or something, and maybe even continued dragging it him with them
There is
as an undead.
There is a question. This is somehow somewhat sorry. My previous question: what is a good amount? How secrets to find in a playthrough?
that's a good question. Do you
I
mean
will bring water. Meanwhile,
a secret per location or for the entire game? I had an interesting station for Great Garden. I made so many additional rooms and places that I can hide some things in. But in the end, I found out that the good word that was calculated for my location, it was like I had more places to place to hide some secrets than the actual rewards for them, and I had to figure out what to do with it. There are places where I placed some more money, and by the good word I mean the magic items that you can wear, that you can use on the characters. That's the main reward. So I had to place some scrolls, some high-level scrolls, and some other stuff there. But I made a location. I have a lot of places that you can find, like hidden doors, and other stuff that the place that you need to disarm a trap to get into, open a door, find something by rotating the camera, or solving the puzzle, and sometimes I think that secrets. If it would be just me, I would have placed more secrets, even more secrets in my levels. But I'm limited to the balance that is calculated by people like Yulia and
Other
now,
evil
rest of
people.
it.
so now basically we will have blame Minanki and blame
Yeah,
you,
yeah.
it seems. Okay, that's fine.
Blaming
I'm sure it was an
everyone
Anki.
would be
It
a
was
nice
an Anki, yes,
decision.
just in
Yeah.
case.
There is also a question: are you planning to ever add pixel hunting secrets?
I'm not sure. I'm not a fan of pixel.
Feels
hunters.
like a bad idea.
Well,
for
it is not
RPG.
a bad idea in general, but I would...
Feels like a hated idea.
No, I think I actually like pixel hunting in general because it's less about really pixel hunting as per exploration, a proper treasure hunting. It's more if you know this interesting weird cheat, basically, it's in-game cheats. Then you can play it a little bit different, but no, not in our game. We are very straightforward. We try to make everything clean, honest, without any kind of weird interesting to some degree mechanics. Everything straightforward.
Well, and I think that it's not that possible to make in our game because every interactive object is highlighted when you press tab, and if it's a pixel, it will still have its outline that you'll see. Like our eye sees even small things that when they change in the static picture.
Yes.
So that's not the case.
Would we talk about some other exact locations you've been working on?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I can tell some stories.
Do you want me to open something?
Okay, I'll just start from a small one.
Okay.
I'll just tell some example how level design responds the I don't not the story but the world like I made when I was making the location for the first quest of Algiv. It's our companion that you meet quite early in the game.
A thiefling.
Yeah, yeah, and I'm talking about their hideout. Like,
Oh, so I need to get another clip ready here, right?
yeah,
Mhm. Please go on.
So I got the script, and it was like there must be a place that you can go, that you should go, and there will be a certain certain character there. There will be a dialogue, and then you'll need to figure out the rest of the quest. But I wanted to make that location some more deep, because I really like playing rocks in games, and that idea sounded like some kind of thieves guild, and I thought, okay, they are thieves, they're a gang, and they have all that thief stuff going on, like all their relationships, and I was sure that they must have somewhere a common fund there. Like all the money that they get, they somehow keep there and dispute for their needs. Like they have a strong hierarchy and all this stuff. So I made I placed a character that was kind of selling things, and he's not working with you. He works only with Steve.
Their own gang treasury
Yeah.
of sorts.
So I thought of that hideout as a place that the members of their gang that they can get there, they can trade things, they can bring their the stuff and the money that they make during their activity. Let's call it so.
Robbed, probably.
Not robbed, but maybe some
They
steal
have
things.
their ways
Yeah,
to
and
get something.
and it has and this place can provide some like some rest for the people for the members of the gang. Like it's not a place where they live, but a place where they can hide for a few days.
Headquarters.
Yeah, sure, a small headquarters or a small gang, and for sure there must be a locked place where they keep all their money. That was not in the script. It was my idea, and our narrative guys. They find out about that only when I asked to write them some barks for the situation. They ask, what's happening?
What the hell is that?
Where is it coming from? Right?
What's happening in this location? There was one quest dialogue. I said, thieves, yeah,
Story,
come
world.
fun. Like it's a world. Like if there's a headquarters, a hideout of a gang of thieves, they should have it. And like when you get there, they are not a fan of you. They don't like you.
They should attack you.
Yeah.
Yes, they don't think that you're a friend there. Like when you doing everything right, they will not hurt you. But if you look at their money, it will make them angry. There was some discussion, and our narrative team said that it was fine.
After all.
Yeah, so you have, from what I see from streams of people playing, not many people find it. Like so, you have you can play a video.
It's a short one.
Like if you start to explore and
Open your heart
there,
to me.
like there's one little design trick. The door there, it is a great. You can see through it. Like if it was a door, golden door, you have no idea what's behind it.
But there is a cage.
But it's great, and you can see that there's something there, and you may be interested to get in there. And when you try to get there,
Music volume.
Oh. So it was too loud. Sorry. But it's already.
We'll try it again.
Okay.
so when you try
Open your
to
heart to me.
unlock this door, if you click on it, the charisma will give you a warning. It will stop you from trying to lockpick it, and she says like, don't do it if you want to leave. But if the player hears this warning and just still wants to check what's there, like Charisma has a key in her loot. So if you try to unlock this, the entire gang will start to fight against you. And if you make it, if you kill them all, you'll get there, and there'll be a lot of money there. But but that's a strange trade-off. Like that means that you lose Voljiv.
You will fail his community.
Yeah. His quest.
His companion quest. Right?
Yeah, and
It's actually interesting.
I think get more loot.
I think
No.
for that level, a few levels later, it will be like not.
So not such a good deal.
Like it's on level 3, and for level 3 there's a lot of money. But if you're level 10, that money is just.
But a possibility.
But at that time, it's really useful. But I don't think that a lot of people will do it, because then you don't make Voljiv's quest. He's a great companion. He has a lot of content
Bad
that we put into him. But it makes world believable. Like if there are thieves, there must be there.
Loot.
Yeah, there loot, there's money. And
there is a question: what if you are invisible while you are trying to sneak there?
That's a good question.
I think we should trigger
Probably
it.
nothing.
Because I think it
dog
triggers because the area.
But I think it's possible to make it. But look, what will be the common reaction? Like you say, you see.
Right before your eyes, your door just opens.
see-
I think you can't. No, sure.
You see a company of strange people that are not.
And suddenly
not members of the
something
band,
happens,
and suddenly a door opens.
There's also a question about dimension door in this exact case.
Dimension door will work.
Will it?
Yeah.
Does
So
it
there
work?
is a chance to
You
rob
have to
them
trigger-
and
But-
No, you have to trigger the.
I
fight.
can fix it.
Yes, just no. Make the
and
dimension
explore.
to work, but it should trigger the fight.
Yeah.
no,
But-
no.
Yes.
They're talking about invisible plus dimension.
Then it should be greater invisibility, isn't it? Oh no, invisibility will work.
That's something that would have worked in a tabletop
yeah,
game.
kind of. Yes.
All these are great ideas. Like we here
Like for
at
some
our team,
month
we
before.
really like to make such situations, but
Punish the player.
every such case requires additional scripting, like
Yeah, true.
explained here. And when we get to the polishing state, we have a lot of things that we wanted to add by ourselves, like this, some little nitpicks.
Small details.
Yeah,
That
that makes level more.
Believable.
So could we, for
So we
example,
like do
just
such things, but-
hypothetically, could such a task be for your polishing state?
Yeah, I may set it myself. Like, I'm not sure that I'll get time to
We'll
get
see.
it.
We'll
Oh,
see.
sure,
But
'cause
the idea
there's-
is really good.
First, we have to ensure there are no bugs. Then we should we can
Definitely.
kind of add some nice stuff, because it would be really cool if our game will work.
You cannot even imagine how many tasks for polishing out there already.
By the way, you can still get that loot if you can persuade Sister Kersme in the final dialogue of this quest.
There is a nice pond there, Yuna.
Yes.
Would you please?
Leave some bugs for Swarm Path. Oh, Swarm Pass. Swarm Pass is interesting one, actually. I'm really looking forward once we will kind of do the most of the game. For our internal testing, I'm definitely going to play the Swarm Pass, because I want to be sure that
Everything is consumed.
everything is consumed, but that actually it is balanced in terms of mechanics and encounters and so on and so forth. Because I'm at the moment doing this last chapters, last bosses, and you have some weird shit going there. So you have to just like, okay, now let's make sure that everything works interesting. And Swarm Pass for that in that case is kind of weird, and I want to try it out.
Yeah, I've seen some parts of it in dialogues, and it's great. Like, you meet a person, and he says, "I am heal demons, eat them."
Yes. Just like
It's amazing.
I
Like
think
it.
it just basically it eats everything at the end.
Just
Um,
without any questions, just eat.
We already discussed
I'm really
on
interested.
some previous streams that probably Swarm that walks has some eating disorders.
I don't think he has any eating disorder.
It doesn't have any disorder
I
at all.
don't think that like it actually have hunger in terms of like a proper hunger feeling. It's more like in general the fixation on consuming everything. Not because of hunger, but because he fixated on this thing.
This
so.
is the way.
I just shush. This is the way. I just. Oh, I'm sorry. So we were talking about the level design in general. Yes, making everything believable.
Do you want me to show something else?
Okay.
I think Ivor didn't taste nice.
She tastes like a rainbow.
I can tell you some.
Rainbow doesn't taste at all. It's just like illusion.
Everything is illusion.
And Andrey is the only one who's trying to talk about something like sensible. Just like, guys, I'm sorry. Oh shit! I'm just like, I don't want to be here with the other.
I'm a
Insanity.
tiefling.
Filthy.
I'm going.
Filthy.
It's great invisibility.
Great invisibility doesn't work like that.
I don't
haven't
see
seen
anyone.
That's it.
That means no one
Yeah.
sees me.
It
That's
works
usually
exactly the
how.
same.
That's
the way it works.
yeah. That's how I work with
You're wrong.
Jira. I just like open it and just like I don't see.
See no
anything.
evil, hear no evil.
Yeah.
Okay, I can tell you some more detailed information about the Great Garrison if you're interested in it. Like some little details about here and there, and the way it evolves from the initial version, it like from Adventure Pass into the one that you have in
In
our
our
game.
game.
What
Yeah.
should I show? First?
Yes.
Please show
You may
the picture.
choose here.
Choose
your destiny.
The one that has AP.
You may
This
tell
one.
me the name.
AP.
Okay.
So, did you design Garrison or did you base it on tabletop module?
It's I'll get
Bush.
into the details. Like when I started to work on it, like I looked at.
This is from tabletop.
Yeah, this is
that's
from the Adventure
the
Pass.
original adventure.
Tiny.
It's as you can see, it's really smaller than the ones that we have, and another thing that is completely different is that in the original Adventure Pass, the War Stone is actually not.
It's not going through the whole building,
Yeah,
right?
there's not the entire stone there. There's a tiny piece of it that is located on the third floor of the Grey Garrison. Like, I don't know if I can use a mouse to point.
Nope, you cannot. I'm
Unfortunately.
sorry.
So you can see on the right side of the picture, there's a tiny rooms. Like, I don't see the numbers. Like P18. It's this room
can
where.
open
Oh yeah.
it here for you.
Just is. Yeah,
Wait
okay.
for it.
Wait for it. Okay.
Okay.
Oh, I remember.
Yeah.
I'll leave you for just a couple
Okay,
of
okay.
minutes, right?
Yeah, sure.
I remember how we played it. Yes, indeed. It was tiny. It is a great Garrison.
Yeah.
The one that we have in game. Now I
Oh,
understand
by
what
the
it
way,
is.
we had a shortcut. We shortcutted it while we were playing at the tabletop game.
No, we
because
didn't.
we used the dimension door. Speaking of dimension door, to get right to the last room where the last level where the Warstone was. We just skipped it.
Actually, this was the place where my character joined the party. So I was in the room P15, and I was in how this angel stuff. Who's I'm Azimar. I was in Azimar, and my heart was ripped. My torso was ripped. My heart was outside, and with Tyrandalev scale, I was resurrected. Now I understand. Oh my gosh, it is small indeed in comparison.
So you see the ways that we love the Pathfinder, that just showing a picture of the location from the Adventure Pass just brings memories for all of us. Like, and so I had a task that I have a small location from the Adventure Pass. I want to have some connections between the original location and the location we have in game. Like, so, like for people that play the Adventure Pass, I want them to find things that they can recognize. And if you played my version of Grey Garrison, like there's a room P8. It's a secret armory. And once I told my colleague Misha Ford that I'm making Grey Garrison, and he asked me, will there be that room of that weird shape, the hidden one from the Adventure Pass? And I said, yes, it will be absolutely the same. In my level, the P7 and P8 rooms, they are there. It's a room with the statues, like you can see there. There are exactly
Oh yes, I understand.
6
that.
statues. It's located in the center of the
Uh-huh.
first floor, but it is that room. Also, the room P4 made into there. Like when you get out of the Moongrail Man caves, you get to the to the altar,
Oh yes, I did remember this. Oh, that's
and that's the next room. It's a destroyed museum, like the place where it's P5, the place where the Abracadillo.
oh, it's just yes,
crash
yellow
and
one
everything.
that don't attack you on sight.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they are too busy by smashing everything there, and that's it.
Interesting.
And also on the second floor, like P15, it's a room. There's I don't know, there's a basin with bodies.
Yeah, I was probably my character was resurrected from there. From the
And it's there. It's one right before the dialogue with Milagro and Staunton.
Oh, yes.
The ones I need to is that you need to find the key,
Mm-hmm.
and that also next to it there's P16. It's a barracks,
Mm-hmm.
and it's there are beds and stuff, and P11 it's much larger, but it's the same as conference
With this
room.
lady, with the boss.
Yeah, it was Jesslyn, and
Jesslyn, yes.
Jesslyn in the original Lucia Pass. She's the main boss of the Great Garrison. Like she's staying in the room with the Warstone, and in our version we have Minaga, which is much more important to the story than Jesslyn. But Jesslyn still makes it in. Like she's living in that room that was P11 in the original Adventure Pass.
There's a question. P11 is where Inquisitors help you, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And you can see that it shares the similar shape of the room. So I took some rooms from the Adventure Pass, the most I think remarkable,
Mm-hmm.
and I wanted to transmit it to deliver them to our version of Grey Garrison. And like if you're looking for the connections, you can find it.
Mm-hmm.
But to me the most obvious is that secret the secret room that you get by solving the status puzzle, because it has a pretty unique shape, and it's for me it's strongly connected to the Adventure Pass version. Like I'm talking about P8 room, and another big difference apart from that we needed a much larger location is that in our game.
Sorry, there was auto noise outside.
Yeah. That in our game you don't have a tiny piece of Warstone, you have the whole Warstone that was thrown in the Great Garrison by Discari himself. For the first time, like the version that you can see in the game is actually, I think it's the third iteration of the layout. I can show you some more earlier version of the layout. Like it doesn't have any art, but you can see the Warstones there, which you'll see it in a moment. Block out.
Could you open it here as well?
No.
They don't see us anyway. I'm just sending her heart signs.
Okay.
Heart.
So that's the second floor of the Great Garrison.
You're too close to microphone.
Sorry.
I can move it.
It's the previous iteration of the Great Garrison. You can see the big green thing in the middle.
That's a worst.
That's a war zone. It used to be there.
Ah.
Like you start from the basement, then you get to the second floor, and in a few minutes you'll get to that area, and you'll see the war zone. But then our team we tested it, and we decided that we need to show the war zone much more to the players. And in this iteration, the third floor was just one small room It was a closed room, not that
Big?
not
the
that
whole
open.
building. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was much smaller. And then I had to rearrange this layout to make to place Warstone differently, so you could see it
Mm-hmm.
on first floor, on second floor, like you move. So I had to show you that you move around it during your playthrough and see it because it's big and it's cool, and it was a really good decision. So you can.
Should I choose some Wordstone screenshot?
Yeah, you can. I can. What?
GG3?
Нет.
GG3?
What is Oh.
So 3 or 5?
Or 1?
Let's begin. This one.
3.
GP3, yeah.
It is 3 then.
Like here's Warstones, as you see it from the second floor, like the one that layout has been that is from the previous picture from that floor.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a giant stone. Like there was a moment when I came to our narrative team and I said, to ensure that we see the word stone from every floor, it must be bigger, even bigger than you planned.
Bigger.
There's a question that's right there. Why bother climbing? I think you lose the idea that we don't just need to find the wordstone itself there, but this corrupted point in it or something.
So I assume that corrected point is.
So that's why we need climbing.
Yeah, it's on that end. We can see it, but once we get there in the very beginning, we see that Minaga is doing something with it. On that part, like because that part is really is more important. Like we can show it like DG5.
Mm-hmm. That's the top.
Like
right?
despite it's top. Like actually it's its bottom, but it's turned upside down. So this guy he crashes with his weapon and damaged
Caesar.
it.
Your favorite word.
А?
Caesar
Caesar?
or no?
Скузи.
Scusi.
Скуся. Сай.
Вот да, вот оно самое, да.
Скуся. I don't know. Шкуся. Не
Yeah.
скузи.
Mi scusi Discari. So that was the place that was damaged by its weapon, and the place where the corruption started to get into it, and Minaga is trying to expand it, and it's somewhere there. Demons feel it. They know where to touch to make it work for you. And so you have to get to the very top of it to find this place that is corrupted, to touch it, to get your story events.
Something will happen.
Yep.
And therefore, I placed this giant stone in a way like I managed to keep almost the same layout that you have seen before in that picture, but I added some more stuff, and it was all for good. Like there was only one room that that was lost. It's because it was damaged by the war stone. But it's fine. Like right now, right when you get into the Great Garrison, you just see the war stone. Like it's GG1. like when you get out of the basement, you
You
start your
already
journey
see
and
it.
you already see that some big shiny thing is there, and there's a lot of destruction. And if you have day run in your party, he'll say that it's very good that the thing was thrown into Grey Garden and not into his mansion. uh, the others will not say it.
Because they don't have a match,
Yeah,
obviously.
yeah. Lon even doesn't have, I think, a flat or an apartment.
Mongrels already have too much thrown on them.
Yeah, poor mongrels.
Yeah. And so now you see the worst one from the beginning, then you get upstairs and get to the second floor, and after one room you see it once again, so it smashes the walls, and you can see it smash through the floor. And I really like the way it looks from the third floor when you can see both first and the second floor beneath it, so you can feel that this is not three separated location. Like this is the one you can see from above, that main hall, where the attack, where the Urubat assaults.
They keep fighting right
Yeah.
at that moment.
Yeah,
Right?
to let players sneak in and get to the war zone.
I
Right.
also like this moment very much.
Yeah, and so
It gives you that feeling.
yeah. So it's all to two purposes. Like you see the war zone going through all these floors, and you see the battle. That there's a lot of space
In the hall.
Yeah, and the hall itself, and the city of Yemida was, I think, one of the latest additions to this location before we launched Alpha. Like, and if you pay attention, yeah, this one,
Should I open it?
yeah, open it, and if you like some tiny little details, you may see that in this large hall, when you first get there, right after the prologue, the statue is intact. It's not damaged. Like demons just get there and they don't destroy
Oh, I
everything.
didn't notice that.
Yeah, it's just another tiny
And
nitpicks
then
that we
while
we
they-
love to add. And
while
when you
they're
get back there
fighting-
for the final siege, the statue is already damaged. Its hand is broken. Its shield is dropped, and there are demons all over there. Like there's a lot of such little things in our maps, and we know that most people will not find them, but I think it's even more cool if you find it like on the third or fourth
Certainly.
playthrough when you start paying attention to such tiny details. And if you play our game, you look for it, you'll find a lot of little nice stuff that we leave for you. Like we believe we want people to find it, but we want to keep it subtle.
Oh, so sweet.
I love that stuff.
I
Yeah.
like it too.
And so, another part that was really complicated and hard for me, especially with this location, is that you actually play this location twice in absolutely different routes. So you first time you visit it in the prologue, after the prologue, and then you get it in the end of chapter 1. And I had to make a layout that serves both purposes. It's actually it's the same level. Like if you open a door in the first playthrough, it will be the same door. It will be open or closed when you get back. And I had to make some manipulations that to seal a part of the location from visiting during the first time, but it was really hard to make a layout that serves both purposes. And Uh, the things that I did was I made that hole in the floor that blocks you, that breaks one pass that you use during the prologue. Oh, I don't have this picture, but you can open, I think, anything. This one. Yeah. Like, yeah, I can show you. I will show you the picture of the entire Grey Garden. Like, I think we should have displayed it before. Like, here's the third floor. Like, oh, you can't actually see it, but like in this picture, the whole pathway above the central hall is full, is intact. But once you get to the stairs to the third floor for the first time,
Yeah, it breaks.
yeah,
The roof falls.
the roof falls. Like Minagas does something.
Somewhere near the wordstone.
Yeah,
No?
it's right here.
Okay.
So it blocks your way.
The right, top right of this whole part.
Yeah, and therefore, the only way to reach the third floor is by going through the room to the right from the main hall, like the one with the basin, with the entrails, and it's locked by the door, and there goes the main loop of the final siege. Like, you need to find a key to unlock the door, to get to the third floor again, and because you can't get to it using the main hall from the first playthrough, and that's it. Like, this
Let's
little
make
trick.
these two walkthroughs quite different.
Yeah, it's there are absolutely different passes.
Mm-hmm.
Like, to start from here.
They don't see how we show it.
I'm telling you.
Okay,
Okay, so
I played it.
fortunately I didn't have any locations that have such multiple and very different routes after that, and I'm pretty happy.
Did you enjoy it, finding two different ways to play through the exact same level
So,
area? Did you like it? You had this one area, and you had to think of two different ways to do different times. So
Yeah.
how players would go through
it's
it.
actually cool, but to be honest, like, for most of people, like, it's one location, but for me, making such absolutely different routes with different cutscenes, different gameplay, different types of
Like two
monsters,
locations.
it's actually two locations: a smaller location and a bigger location, and they just share the same aesthetic, but actually they are absolutely different. And like, during your first visit, you spend most of the time walking with, like, you can open this view.
Mm-hmm.
Like, during your first playthrough, you mostly work with Eurobas and Staunton. Like, here you can have a look at the Great Garden from the perspectives that you can see from the actual game. Like, that's the way it looks in the editor, and here it is. So during the first playthrough, it's absolutely different. There's a lot of scripted scenes. Like, every time you kill an encounter, your best starts to move, and things go on, and it's actually a different type of adventure. Like, most of encounters are made for Eurobas, because her level is much higher than you, and she can break through massive encounters that that are really hard to make you on level 2 that you have once you get out of the prologue. And the second time you get there, it's different route and it's everything by itself. But oh no, another thing that another complex thing about the Grey Garrison is that it uses a lot the mechanics of followers, like,
Oh yes, I remember that.
and it was a pain to script. It was too much, but
I didn't
it's
get
fun.
it. Sorry.
Like you can, if you depending on what you do before you get into the Great Garrison, you can gather some followers with
Hell
you.
no.
Yeah,
Sleep
right.
Walking
I
around the
All those
canals.
death notes that try to
Yeah.
kill sleeping enemies.
Yeah, you can get Destined Priests, you can get Tieflings, and you can get
Hell Knights.
Hell Knights, and
Hell Knights?
no,
I
Hell
didn't
Knights,
know.
Inquisitors,
You made
Oh,
Inquisitors,
Knights
and
later.
the Mages of Flame and
Okay.
Spear.
Yes.
Yeah, and
Okay.
they all act absolutely different, in different way. Like you may have the Mages of the Flaming Lance that they make a cool ritual that give you a haste. It's very powerful, long-lasting
haste.
haste.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was always I've been worrying a lot that these followers were killed.
Poor them.
The decision behind it is because they are the only followers that fight, that can fight alongside you the entire dungeon, and their additional firepower, and firepower is expendable.
Yes, it can.
So you can
And-
take care of them, you can heal them.
I thought if I'd make them survive, then they will help me during the crusade, but they didn't. It
Or they
seems.
just like, okay, thank you for helping us to survive. Bye. Basically, just.
That's a good idea. But
I think they just how to say it. Your army is so big that
Yeah.
you just
You didn't
stop
notice them.
noticing them once you get the whole army.
True.
they get there by their own. It's their own choice. They know the risks.
Yes.
It's a war, after all.
It is a
Every soldier
crusade.
knows that on crusade he may die, but he'll die for Yomedai and
For the greater
for the
good.
greater goal
For the
of erasing the
yeah.
demon.
And then you become leech, demons, worm that walks.
And they like,
And they just like,
oh
shit.
You just don't tell those little
Those puny mortals.
those people mortals about this. They have a great goal and they can achieve it by either
Yes.
well joining you in a battle. The mythical
Join me
hero
in death.
is an achievement by itself. Like I think that the children
Well,
of this.
After all, the
They just-
greater good is to close the world wound, and the most of the mythics are like about to do that anyways.
Like most.
Like mostly.
Not necessarily. Oh. Let's see. So
Well,
actually, yeah, I'm really curious for all the endings because
me too.
I think there's like a lot of stuff going on. So you just like
You never see the whole picture.
no, never. Because as I said, I'm doing this final battles and I'm actually learning about endings right now, and I'm just like, shit, I want to play that. I'm curious.
Yeah, I mean it's exactly the same because like I'm making Trickster mythic boss, and I know his story, his quest, but I have no idea about other mythics. Like I heard a bit, but I don't know the details. And like when I played Alpha, I played. I didn't play Trickster. I played Angel, I think, just to figure out what's going on there. Well, how is it different from Trickster, and he has some different locations, different quests, and it's really cool. Like even we here in Owlcat games, like we don't know
Everything, every
because
small
it's so
bit.
complicated and
Too
it's-
much of
It's
it.
yes,
Yeah.
it's a complex. So there is a question about Portuguese language. As
Oh,
far as I
no.
know, no. We are very sad, but at the moment it's not planned. So yeah. Yes.
We would love to localize the game to every
Yes.
possible language, but we unfortunately we can't do that.
And yes, regarding the localization, as far as I know, we have a lot of words in this game, due to the complexity of choices we take pass. So yes, yeah, it's going to be very interesting. I'm curious. I really want to play, and maybe even have a bad ending. Bad, not in terms of like really bad, but in terms of like this.
An evil.
No,
end.
not the evil like this.
Everybody's
sad ending.
suffering.
Everybody suffering is a good ending. I'm sorry.
true ending.
Yes, it is basically a true ending. No, about like when you try to succeed but then you failed. I really want that kind of ending. I think, I hope there will be one like that. When you try to succeed but
It's
you
an
fail.
unusual desire of you.
Yeah, because I don't know. Maybe it just speaks close to my heart. I'm afraid that we will not succeed or something like that, but I really want to say it. I think that that's a tragedy. Yes, I want a tragedy. Like when you try, when you do your best and then you don't succeed, and just like, no. And then you just start a new game.
And on that note, do we want to make a little pause before we go on
Yes?
for like 3 to 5 minutes?
Yes, let's do it. Let's have a
We'll
short pause.
return.
And then
Please
we will
don't
discuss
go
a little bit
far
more
away.
about level design and some
And suffering.
and suffering strategy in my life.
Oh,
Like-
When? Where?
no.
Do it. Find the
Ah.
pose. Вопрос какие-нибудь? Just some questions.
Some questions?
Questions.
We're back, by the way.
Hello again.
Do I have some questions here?
No? Good. Bye. Sorry. Welcome back.
Can I have this animated post screen as a download for my desktop? You can write me in Discord. We'll see what we can do. Wooden Dragon at Discord. Just please don't do.
You'll get spammed.
Don't everybody do that.
Be prepared for this.
Be prepared.
Oh, I love Lion King.
Yes. Me too. I think I'm just dying. One day I will wake up and I will be a true undead. Lich, preferably.
Do we
But
have
Are you prepared
some?
for this?
We have some more locations left for today. Do we want to proceed with that?
Okay, if
you insist.
people want to hear some more
Stories.
You know,
stories,
they came to the level design stream anyway.
Poor people, that was their first mistake.
So
Second mistake, they stayed.
Okay,
don't say that. We don't have too many people on streams these days anyway. It's my pain. Oh, we have sudden dance there, so I'll say just hey guys, if you really enjoy our streams, please let us know so we have more motivation. And please also tell your friends, I don't know, grandmas, and
That we need all your support.
we need your support. We need you to join us. So we'll continue with this incredible hats off
I want to try a different hat.
Yes.
development
Do I have
Owlcat
here?
streams.
I found your beard.
We need your support, we really do.
I have my own. I don't need this one.
Oh, I found my
And
beloved.
by the way, if you have some ideas, some suggestions for streams, please go on. You can write them directly to me.
Take
We'll
this
see
one.
what we can do.
Hello. Okay.
I think
Okay.
it perfectly suits you,
Yes.
Okay.
fits you. Yeah. What do you want to talk about next?
Okay. Earlier in our stream,
Красный кандибобер.
Sorry.
Я не знаю, как кандибобер
Красный
по-английски.
кандибобер, I don't know.
поэтому-
This
Или
meme.
Ибрагим может что-нибудь говорить.
Meme from Russian YouTube. I think it's YouTube.
я не знаю, это он его. Потом. Okay. So early in our stream,
Previously on
Previously on-
Owlcat's stream.
previously we discussed doors.
So why wouldn't we have more doors?
As you know, what is
Adore the doors.
adorable door? Yeah.
Oh,
And
I
the-
see where it's going.
And you know what I like more than doors?
Big doors?
Yeah, big doors count as well. But I can tell that I love more than doors our columns
Yeah. Why? Why?
because they are
Dangerous.
bloodthirsty.
I know.
Deadly.
This is the stupid column that
So-
killed me in Astrid.
Some
that's
dangerous,
one.
deadly columns.
I think the one that killed me.
Pillars.
I
Yeah.
freaking hate it. I just like it just killed me, and then I had to replay the whole fight because I forgot to save. I was just like, you can't be that stupid. Don't press everything.
It's okay, I guess, because
I'm just like,
some
yeah.
even some skilled, over-skilled streamers were also caught to this
Yes.
trap.
Don't forget to save. What did you expect, basically? Like, what did you expect when you pressed
So
on that
is
home?
it video or is it
I
a
keep
screenshot?
telling Vadim, our game designer, is responsible for the crusade, to add the columns to the armies. I think if these columns, if at least one,
yeah, this is just like the whole
You
fight,
should
the whole crusade is
definitely
one.
join
The-
the crusade on
Yeah.
Trickster's side.
I think
Column.
he should have done that many years before, and the demons, every demon would
Be
have
wiped
been
out.
vanished to this time.
I
No
mean, you
chance.
just need to apply this column to the whole world wound, and it will be just
Yeah.
like done, destroyed.
It kills the demons and closes the world.
Exactly.
And close the question.
Yeah. Arlu is afraid of it. She runs away. She has never entered the Esther Tower because of it. She knows she's wise. She's a
Oh
wise
my,
woman.
there are columns there.
Yes.
I'll better
Deadly,
do mind my
bloodthirsty,
own
as you said.
business.
Uh,
video
Yeah.
first.
Yes.
So
Let's show it.
please drop some just a bit of context for those of
it's a
you
column.
of viewers who didn't play beta and
I think
don't
they
know
will
a
see.
thing about.
I think they will
what
see, no? Isn't it just...
Okay.
Where is it? What's the location?
Ah.
Well, okay. There's a location. It's called Esther Tower. The Tower of Strahd.
And there is a
Um,
column.
It's also in the first or second chapter, right?
It's in the first chapter, and there was a goal to make. It all came like, you can blame our narrative team. And I'll
Too
tell
much
you why.
blaming for today.
Because
Finally.
because in the story we get to the hideout of a big bunch of cultists, and our fellow Grey Boar, he's not a companion at that moment. He says, "Don't go there. They'll smash you. They'll rip you apart and get back."
Regroup
Well,
and
when-
get back stronger.
or get back, or when it's better, when they
After they
go somewhere.
No, after
doing
they
their cultist
after
things.
they attack the defenders'
heart.
heart.
Yeah. And
What?
No, I just remembered that on the attack of Defender Heart, my character just said like, "I'm leaving. I'm not helping you. Bye, 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 bye."
And for in my party, Dayran were just literally sitting and doing nothing.
I know there is a bug.
I made this bug.
Yeah.
No, not
Typical
made it.
Dayran.
I like make this task for this. bug.
Yeah.
Он молчит, ты ничего не
I think
делаешь.
it's fixed actually at the moment.
Yeah, it's already fixed.
so once you get the goal to make a big bunch of baddies that you can't win, it's not good. Like, if you're a player, you can play the game the way you want, and I don't think that any dwarf can tell you don't kill,
Just
don't
like-
attack cultists, and
Who would listen to?
who listen to
Some dwarf you just met.
I didn't listen.
You
'cause
see,
I
in
didn't
the
even
first
meet him.
time, you're a great hero. Not that great at the moment, but
Leroy Jenkins.
who can become a great hero if he retreats once some dwarf says him to do so. And I had a task where I need to make an impossible battle possible to beat. Like, if you attack as it is, there's really a high chance that you'll get beaten by these cultists. And I wanted to add something that will give you a possibility to beat that encounter. So I came up with the idea that you can that you can look at this area
Around you.
from all sides. Like, you can plan your moves, and it's a destroyed tower, and I had this idea with columns that you can use to kill monsters. and if you use this column to there are 2 columns on each side. Each one kills exactly 3 monsters, and if they are killed, the encounter, like in our system, it has the certain here that is challenging but beatable. If you don't do this, I think you maybe can overcome it.
Story mode especially, I think you can.
Yeah, maybe. But if you play on core, it's like over the top for your level. And let's show this in action for those
Do you
ones.
want to read it or just
Yes,
skip it?
so there is a comment from
So
Cold Bluff.
it's about you, right?
Yeah, Andrey, did you know they won that fight and then killed their own party with those columns? I think a lot of people actually did it.
You still can use the columns after you
They
return
fight.
after defender's heart.
Yes, and kill yourself
Yeah.
as well.
Yes, I know. Half of our studio
Kills
have done
themselves.
that.
Just like click and just like.
It was actually not expected, but supported. Like if a column falls,
It's still so fun.
It
I
kills
hope
everything.
one fix it.
Well, it shouldn't
One
be
did
fixed. No,
something,
it shouldn't be
anything
fixed.
about
It's
it.
Yeah, it's
basically
fun.
It's a living meme.
it's a believable world.
yeah, like what did you
Trademark.
expect? What did you expect if you
Yeah.
press on the column and stand just in
And
front
it
of this
says
column?
push the column.
Yes, just like what did you expect?
You're just expecting to push every button.
Yes, and then die.
Yeah, and some like I've seen some reactions of a fellow developers and say, I killed myself, but it was great.
Well, I kind of.
That's a DC
Yes,
game
yes.
design spirit.
I kind of liked it and hated it at the same time because I hated myself, not this feature, because I forgot to save. I was just like, no.
Okay,
let's show it.
Show it.
Yeah, I'll show
Not-
the proper way to use a column.
Yes, proper.
It's a guide for column rollers. Like you're a beginner, you should use this guide. If you're experienced in columns,
Do it by yourself.
yeah, do it by yourself.
I am finished.
Easy.
Yeah, pretty simple. Like you go there, you use it, and it rolls.
Yeah, and you win it.
And it kills. Don't like if you like to roll the column. Don't stay
Don't
in
stand
its
in
way.
front of
Rolling,
it.
rolling,
Yeah,
rolling.
it's simple, it's obvious, but not obvious.
It's simple, it's obvious, it's column.
It
Yeah.
is a column. I just remembered
Column always
with
wins.
this column. I remembered another bug. I don't remember where was it. I think it was Jenny Ivanov's location where there was a bowler with the name like.
Yeah, it's Ivor Santom.
Yeah, so there were. Is it ever something? Okay, I really
Yeah,
liked
it's something.
that. Some kind of citizen. It had a name, Citizen 17 or something like that. It was very funny.
because his doors are actually mobs,
Yeah.
but my column is.
It's column.
That.
It's not a mob.
It's actually a door.
Should I
It is a door?
It's a
show
door. Like I love doors.
Is
like,
it a door?
Yeah, it's a door.
your column is
Is
a
a
door?
door?
Adorable column!
Adorable door, which is a column.
Yeah.
Oh, it's definitely trickster thing.
So you have.
So should
Yeah.
I show the screenshot, or it's already?
Yeah.
I'm gonna just show it.
I prepared a screenshot like
Oh,
like
No,
for.
that's not what I wanted.
That's not what I needed.
Yeah.
So
I,
interesting.
I wanted to tell
No.
stories about this tower showing this screenshot, but I forgot about it. Yeah, yeah, and that's the result of a proper fight in the Star Tower. Like everything is killed. The column always wins. It can't lose because of
Column starts and wins.
yeah, it just
Yes.
doesn't has HP, so it can die, and therefore it can win everything.
Yeah, so it
Every
stays.
fight.
It is still alive.
Yeah, and once it's on your side, you're the
You're invincible.
ultimate
Weapon.
victor. Yeah. Yeah, so the,
If only we had more features like the from the engine. Like I would like to have a weapon column.
yeah, so that's why I said you can play the narrative team
range
because
weapon?
they say make an unbeatable encounter, and we made we made our level design job.
Yes.
Yeah, and it ended up with
Quite beatable.
such an execution. So and we have a meme column. I really don't understand why doesn't this column has any doesn't have any fan art like we have.
It's all portrait.
I mean, we have a gazebo as
Yeah.
a meme in
Yeah.
general. So why don't we have a column meme, guys?
So
We need your help.
some artists we have there. Here's some inspiration for you.
Yeah, the ultimate weapon, the one to rule.
Them all.
By the way, there is another ultimate weapon, the pink mace.
Pink mace. Oh yes, pink mace. Sadly, it will not be in the game. I
But
know.
there's already a fan art.
Yes,
about
I
it.
know. But
And it's beautiful.
Yeah.
one column to roll them all.
Yes!
That's good.
Yes!
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you get it.
Finally, someone gets it. I'm sorry. I'm so
Next
depressed.
on Drezen, right?
What did you want to tell about Drezen?
Would we talk about a
Oh,
bit?
let me.
Don't run away
let
from
me
you.
leave for a moment. I get some additional information about Drezen because Drezen was not made by me, but I've seen in Twitter posts when people asked to tell something about Drezen, and I asked
Show us.
my asked my lead to tell me about Drezen, and I'll be back in a
Oh, I
minute.
see. Okay.
That's why I changed the picture.
I know, but I'm just so tired. I want to see people, myself, and so on and so forth. So, guys, how do you like the stream? How do you enjoy the information about level design and how we all
Columns.
and the columns, obviously, and all these nice tricks that they have to come up with to ensure that the world is believable, livable, and all these nice, sweet details. I don't know. I think I can't be a level designer. I think it's too difficult for me.
But it's really interesting.
It is. It is. It is.
I'm really glad I'm working here and can talk with you guys because I cannot even imagine me doing all the stuff that you do, but I have this nice glance at your work and the details. It's always interesting. By the way, chat, you also may tell me which other parts of the team would you like to see and listen to? We already made multiple streams with narrative designers. It's always a pleasure to talk to them and listen them. We also made some streams with game designers, not only with Julia, but
Yep.
her colleagues too. We made one UI stream.
Mm-hmm.
And we made one art stream
Yes.
about 3D modeling.
But it was a year ago, something like
Yes,
that.
quite a lot time ago. And yeah, now the first ever stream with level designers.
Maybe
What was-
programmers.
Programmers.
Like all this, like they're suffering because actually they do a lot of stuff and
But-
like optimization in general, like how they, especially when they receive a task from the game
It's
designer.
not so easy to show something of their work.
They can show the results of their work.
Yeah, probably.
So basically, because sometimes we come to them with some kind of weird ideas, like, should this have to be done? They just look at us like, no, let's find some other ways. Or sometimes they say, okay.
Well, Nikita joined us a couple times, but he didn't talk much
Yeah,
about
but it was
programming
not really
stuff.
specific stuff.
But we have some other guys, they probably would love to tell you.
Yeah,
more about
like
something.
maybe some
Like
challenges.
tomorrow on our video dev diary, there will be some programmers talking about, well, actually one programmer among other people.
Will it be filmed tomorrow, or will it?
No,
be,
it
will
will
be published?
It's already
It's
filmed.
already done?
It will be published tomorrow about rotating
Oh.
camera.
Oh.
Max will
I
tell
see.
like half of the material
That's
we had
cool.
them.
sound
Sound designer,
designers.
yeah,
That's
I
actually
also
cool.
think that would be cool. We actually had Sergey Yebok a long time ago on stream. like
very long.
3 years or 4
Yes,
years.
it just-
you
doesn't
should
come.
you should make him return.
Yes.
He's such a nice guy and such a great.
Smart
So
one.
if you
Professional.
want sound designer, please podcast and probably get some questions prepared.
Mm-hmm. So Drezen, is it?
Drezen, we will be happy
Okay,
to
it's all about Drezen.
invite our sound designers if they will agree.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's show it.
Let me start from some talking. Like Drezen is a very important location in our game. It was made by Zhenya Sanin, our lead level designer, and it's a very big and very complicated location. It was one of the earliest locations that were made for this game. Not the early one, but at the early stage of the development, Drezen was already made, and the siege of Drezen, not the capital state, and it was that was a really a task that cannot be compared to any maps that were in Kingmaker. It was just the next level for us and for our game and for level science. It was a hard challenge, but I hope that it was successfully beaten. And it was so complicated in terms of mechanics and overall feel. Like the goal to make a siege isn't easy, so Zhenya started to look for references in games of our channel, but there was nothing that can be really compared like to what we wanted to do, and he also looked into games of different genres, and he was referencing a lot at StarCraft 2 missions that have a series of encounters that you have to overcome every time, and it was the location was the whole the level design work, because from the narrative team the goal was only to ensure that there's a baller in the end, and there are 3 ways that you can start the map from.
Should I show show it?
Yeah,
Show it.
Yeah, show it. Yeah, that's Drezen from
The perspective you
from-
won't see from in the game.
Yeah, it's taken from the editor, and you can see how big and complicated it is. Then other, apart from a lot of scripting due to siege events like breaking through gates, that hasn't been done before, encounters like that in our game. And it was the first time it was made, and it was a success. Like it was, there were times when we saw that if we can't make it quick, we'll cut it out. Those people who smash the gates while we fight. But it worked. Zhenya managed to make it pretty fast, and they're in game, and they're great. Another challenge was that we knew that Drezen will eventually become our capital. So when you design a map like this, you have to think about any future events and places that need to be already there, since it's
So there are two states: a siege and future capital of the crusade.
Yeah, and it's almost it's the same location. Like those buildings that you meet during the siege, you'll recognize them in the capital state. And there's a lot of places that are used in quests, in future quests, and other events, and they all need to be already there. Like there was no capital state at that moment, but there was only design written about it, and it has to be taken into account during the making of this map. Uh, for the reference, since Zhenya didn't found any proper reference in games of our genre, he looked at the game. The old game, the Robin Hood, the Legend of Sherwood.
May I show it?
Yeah.
So that's a reference our game designer, level designers had.
Yeah, and that's a commander style game that takes place in the environments that were pretty similar to what we needed to when we started to work on Drezen.
Mm-hmm.
Like I haven't played this game myself. By the way, in a few days you'll see the development diaries where Zhenya.
Not in a few days. We'll be filming it soon. So
Yeah.
it's another announcement of announcement. We are going to. Drezen is actually such an interesting location for us, such a big and important location. So it influenced not only the work of level designers, but a big part of the team, including narrative designers, including artists, technical artists, and so on. So yeah, we're going to film another developer's diary all about Drezen, but it's not made yet.
Yeah.
So it's
And,
a bit of a spoiler, and I don't know yet how exactly it will look like.
Yeah, but anyway, Zhenya asked me to tell his story on the stream as well.
Mm-hmm.
I
You can
think I'll return to
yeah,
Drezen.
yeah, you can return. There was also that idea of those giants that use catapults. It was also it all came from Zhenya during the making of this location. Like it was not what meant to be by the script, but it was his idea of execution. And Dresden is very heavily scripted, like those events where these giants shoot at you, and you need to find cover behind buildings. It was also there was nothing like that in our game before in Kingmaker. It was also a new challenge, and our visual effects artists have done a great job to create all this feeling of the siege, like the arrows they are
Flying around,
hitting almost at you, and we wanted to create that feeling of a siege going on.
So it's not only your party moving around, but many things at
Yes.
once are happening around you.
Yeah, and that was the first location that was made that used the new mechanics of followers that I've told before that I used in Grey Garrison. It was the first time it was used in Drezen Siege. Like you could find Crusaders they are fighting against demons, and you get them to follow you. They join your.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there's a question. How long did it take to make this? Can you answer that?
I actually, I don't remember. I think.
So it's the matter of one one more time. You always see only one part of the
Yeah,
picture,
yeah.
right?
I wasn't working at Drezen, so I can say, like, maybe Zhenya will tell it in the dev diary.
I may ask him tomorrow.
Yeah, we can ask him. I can tell him that people asked about Drezen. How long did it take to make it? Yeah, and it was quite a
Quite a challenge.
Mm-hmm.
quite a challenge. It was not made in a few days. It was a few weeks, maybe more.
I think
Maybe
it was,
a lot more.
Yeah,
I
probably
don't
it was
remember.
done in a few weeks, and then it was months of polishing,
Yeah, yeah,
something like that, as usual with all this big difficult.
yeah. It was. I remember it was at the stage when we needed to get version, and Zhenya took another level designer, Sergei Kulagin, to help him to script all the events to make it look cool. And then it was the first version.
Oh
and
my!
then
We have a sudden dance, but the camera's off. So because we're showing the
Drezen.
screenshot, so we'll dance but without
No,
camera.
that doesn't count. Show the camera, otherwise it doesn't count.
So you don't want to miss this?
Oh, I don't want them to miss that. They paid for it, 500 toads. I'm just like, oh, let's do this slow, like a snake dance. I'm just like, I don't know.
He doesn't want to
Ah,
participate
just
in
like,
that.
I don't want to.
I'm still in Drezen
I'm sorry.
with my mind. I tried to remember some more details that Zhenya told me.
Yulia looks like casting magic missiles. I do.
Oh, by the way, I could do this manipulation for you if you want to read the chat. Please welcome.
This is some kind of magic.
Magic.
Anyway, so what was this with Drezen?
Oh, let me remember. There was a dance. I remember.
And then you forgot everything.
Yeah.
Where am I? Where I am here? Good questions.
Let me remember anything. I told about the followers. Ага. А можно еще лучше?
Нет.
Нет.
Having played in Alpha, I noted that it seemed like there were more people living in Dresden than it seemed there were houses for. Do the houses in Dresden needs upgrading, or is there an in-universe reason?
I think that Drezen is a fortress actually, while in our history, medieval, and I think even in the Deutsche Pass, it's always that there is a small fortress with a few houses and it's surrounded by villages.
Yep.
And most people live there, and they get inside the fortress to work or
To sell, for instance.
yeah, and to hide from armies when they need it. Like they have walls. Walls protect people, but most people live near the fortress. Therefore, there are not so many houses in Dresden.
Yeah.
I'll just return to the camp.
Yeah, and then exactly there many peasants can live in one small hut. So
Yeah. So I'm all sure that in the Adventure Pass, I I remember, yeah, there was.
Yeah, usually it was like so. Probably, let's say it is intended.
Yeah, I remember there was a combat not far from Drezen before the siege when we were playing the Adventure Pass, and it took place in some village that was near the Drezen.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there's something like that.
that's it.
Good question. Good
There
question.
was
Dr.
a
Fedorov.
question: are we at the office? Back at the office? Well, at the moment, of course, as you can see, but yeah, we are still working remotely. But we are getting ready to gather back
Slowly,
here,
yes,
slowly getting vaccinated.
Yeah, I can't wait to get back to office. I hate
Yeah,
to work
I
from home.
miss the team.
Yeah, we have such an amazing team.
Me too.
Yeah,
Uh,
but so far we're working remotely. Well, let me remember something more about Drezen.
maybe anything else, not about Drezen, but in general, something that you can
We
remember
wanted
and
to tell
just-
everybody about.
Okay. Chat, tell me please, how many of you played the Trickster Mythic Pass?
Please, no spoilers.
No, no spoilers.
I know.
Oh, Trickster Mythic Pass.
Chat is waiting.
I did half Trickster. Okay. Cold Bluff said.
If someone of you played on the Trickster Pass, you must have visited a special dimension.
Oh, that could be a spoiler, by the way. No?
Oh, it is some kind of dimension. You travel a lot in this
If you
game.
want to talk about what I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I don't know. I didn't play the Trickster part.
Yeah, that.
The console.
Yeah.
No, let's not talk about it.
Okay,
Yeah.
I just wanted to ask you if anyone finds the reference for that location.
Oh,
There's a pop culture reference for this location.
Yes,
and
Cold Bluff,
It's,
I think
it's
you're right.
Very. It's not that obvious. It's subtle, but it's there. I just wonder if anyone in chat has an idea of what it can be.
I have no idea.
Okay, so yes, I'm wearing a tomato on my head. There was a question. I'm just
Do you
answering.
like it?
I love it. I like to be a tomato. That's just basically my mood. It
favorite.
is red. It is dying all the time.
So, could you please, if you may, tell us about the reference without
Without spoilers.
spoilery?
I'm thinking about the visual reference for that place.
I'm sorry.
Not related to any story moments or spoiler free.
So,
Like the idea of the visual of that room was the Black Lodge from Twin Peaks.
Okay, I didn't watch Twin Peaks.
Oh, ha! Seriously?
No, I didn't.
I wouldn't think of that
Just
because I don't remember it. Because I actually watched it, but I don't remember this thing.
I tried
I'm
it once,
sorry.
but then I just fell asleep.
red curtains.
Okay.
Little-
We are just too.
It's great. So.
Let's do it this way.
It is a classic
after
idea.
the release.
We will watch.
After the release, some weeks after the release, we'll make another stream where you will reveal some secrets and references, some interesting things we cannot talk about now.
Okay.
Could we do something like that?
I think yes.
I hope that was spoiler free. Like if anyone knows that location, he'll get what I say. But
Okay.
if
If you didn't see it, you
yeah.
don't. You're just like you, basically like me. If you didn't see the location, if you didn't watch Twin Peaks, you're just like
Have no
idea what they're talking about. There is a question: how much does the narrative design team influence the look and the layout of a level? How much free hand do you have designing a new level?
Our narrative team, they they write down the summary of what they see, like what they need to be done exactly. Like it's usually mostly about events and about the locations. They say, well, it is a fortress, or it is.
So it's just little information, like basically general information.
Well,
setting.
from time to time there are special places like
Some
I want
details.
this in this room for be something.
Or I want this character
A
to look
super
like.
big chair, for example,
Okay.
or killing column.
I want this
There was-
character to do this thing.
They write down mostly the events, like they came to this location, like Great Garrison, and there needs to be
4 barks.
yeah, like in Great Garrison I had they went where Irbat fights in a place where that player can't reach. The the event when Minaga
Mm-hmm.
the scenes with Minaga and her friend, for those who haven't played, and the ending.
Okay.
And also the succubus scene. Like the rest was completely up to me.
Oh, cool.
I won't read that question because it's provocative.
Which one? Which one? Sorry, I just have anxiety when there is a question about items.
Go on about how I have a feeling you haven't tell us everything yet about your influence and narrative designers' influence and how the world goes.
If you're making a big dungeon, in big dungeons there's always a lot freedom for us. Like the number of events is usually much smaller than the place that those events can take place in. Like you have like
So I have to
3 or
fill
5
in.
events, and I have a big space for I think an hour or more of playthrough where I can add something from me, like some encounters or some things like more columns.
Puzzles.
Maybe puzzles, yes. So it's narrative team that doesn't come to us and say, I want a puzzle. They are not about puzzles. They are about storylines, strong personalities, and engaging stories, and all this all this stuff. And we're about to connect the stories that they wrote with the gameplay, and also, as I mentioned before, to make the world believable. And once again, return back to Grey Garrison. Like there was a place where
Bless you.
Excuse me.
Будь здорова. Where you take a first mythic level,
Mm-hmm.
and
I remember.
Thank you, Cozy.
and you need to fight with those superpowers, and we needed to show it. Like it was a narrative moment, but it's actually an encounter, and
You should feel these powers and see these
yeah,
powers.
and it was a complex task between between me and game designers, Julia in particular. We had to make uh, a strange fight where you're not based on your skills, well, you're based on some buffs that you have that makes you feel greater. And
But still, it should be a fight. It should be not like that challenging, but it should be a fight.
yeah, you should feel that you're powerful, but you should still have a
It shouldn't
challenge.
be one shot where you just
Yeah,
like
and it was really a difficult and unusual task. Like we don't have fights like this in game. I think more. We have some strange fights, but not. I think there are no other fights that ignore your stats.
true. I
Um,
think true.
There's an interesting question, I think.
I'm just playing with the masks.
I haven't played Paizo's tabletop version of Wrath, but so when I see a level you've made, I don't know how much is your original work interpretation and how much is reference material from Paizo. What would you say the ratio is between things you create yourself and things that are created from reference to Paizo things? Of course, we already shown Great Garrison.
yeah, I
original,
showed
but
that
if
in
we
examples.
talk about
Generalize, yes,
generally,
Well, generally it depends. It seriously depends. There are locations that have a lot from not a lot have much from the original Adventure Pass, like similar rooms or places that you can recognize, and there are locations like Ivor Santum that is completely different. Like
Is it?
yes,
Mhm.
I remember seeing it in the Adventure Pass. It's scheme. Uh, well, in our game, it's it's a circle dungeon.
Yes, yes.
It's all in circles, interconnections between them. Like in Paizo version, it's just a
Usual dungeon.
usual dungeon with square rooms and
excuse me, what dungeon are we talking
Ivory.
Ivor Santum.
Santum.
And
It's a story. Yes.
and in other places like it's usually most of the time it's our work. Like we if we find some strong places, they are like very distinct that we really want to bring, we take it. Otherwise it's usually our work, because in Adventure Pass the dungeons are much smaller and
And less fights as well.
yeah,
have-
because they like a combat, a single encounter in a tabletop version can take a few hours, while in our game you can, if you play in real time with pause, you can for that hour or a half you can beat the entire dungeon, while
True.
in a tabletop version you can just fight like let's see five demons for the tower, because it's all turn based and
For 4 or 6 hours, you fight
And
just one
every
encounter.
player has to talk something
Yes.
about it and
Yeah.
counts his
Yeah,
therefore
numbers and how many
The whole
dice
pre-buffing
has to throw.
before the fight, it was fun. We basically wrote everything on the whiteboard. Like, okay, we buff this. We just like I started singing a song like moral hate.
But I personally like these things. Sometimes it's funny.
yeah, it is.
So
Oh, it
that's
is.
just a difference, but that doesn't. For me, it's not like a bad thing
No, it's just different.
always.
Yes, so you cannot just take the Paizo version of dungeon and put it into a game. It just won't work. It's if you are based on something, it's always an adaptation, because you need a different scale, and there are different gameplay nuances that are different in the computer version
Mm-hmm.
compared to the tabletop, and it's always like Python's levels are service inspiration mostly, and we take something from there just to make it like I can tell for me for myself. I just I use it. I use some pieces from the original dungeon just to entertain the players that played the original Adventure Pass. Just to say them, hey, like this, yes, this is great garrison. I remember it was there, like for this, but I don't need it to make it
Precise.
good adventure.
Specific.
And sometimes, especially in the later parts of the game, our story differs
Yes.
too much from the original Adventure Path, and even
further we go,
Yes.
the more it
The
differs.
further away stray.
yeah,
from
and
the
like
main
the locations
path.
that I'm making currently, it's
Totally different.
yeah, it's just has like
But
only just the common feel.
This is a
the-
great thing, I think actually,
Yeah.
because if you played original Adventure Path, there are no too many spoilers for you. You can play and get the different result.
So now we have a
Different
real
experience.
question. Are boulder traps in Ivory Tower actually walking people?
I think Zhenya Ivanov will
Knows
tell,
better.
but I suppose that they are.
Yes, they're basically kind of walking creatures.
Ah.
Moving creatures.
I've already told you about my own
Columns.
columns.
Which are
there
doors.
doors.
The best.
Yeah,
Yes.
You
those are the
use
best
the wrong,
doors.
use the wrong.
A good
word.
level designer knows how to use doors
Yes.
in a cool way. Like,
Using doors to kill people.
and another little secret that leads that you have seen in the video of the chapter 4 location. They are
Also doors?
They are also doors. That was it was a fun story. Like, it was my idea if I can use door in such a way, and it worked. And I already made it. And then a few months later, our programmers they were making
You
optimization.
were driving development.
And
Yes.
and they fixed some bug, and
They ruined your
yeah,
doors.
and my doors stopped to work as lead, so I had to give them a task, like, guys,
Fix it.
they fixed my lift, and they told me, like, hey man, you should have asked us if we're gonna change it or not, and like you were using a bug.
So we sometimes use bugs to make features.
Yeah, and
basically.
therefore, but as for me, like, if I have already a location that uses this, like, hey guys, you need to fix it. Okay, not fix the bug, but let's make it a feature. So let's do doors, and they made a special command for me
To do
that
the
I can use.
I do remember the discussions about the
Yeah.
lift.
So
I
see what-
think we already are near 3 hours.
Yes.
And I think
wrapping
that's a nice note for us to end for today.
up, obviously.
So I hope that after today's conversation, you find how to love doors more.
And definitely try a trickster path, and definitely buy better access and try the trickster path. And if you do try better, please don't forget to participate in our surveys. Yeah, because that's the main point of us making better test.
Yeah,
We'll
yeah, we
soon
need a feedback.
have a new part with some new content.
Nude? No, sorry, what?
New.
I knew. I was just like, wait, what? What
Well,
kind of
if
nude
we take into
content?
account some
New Mythic Plus.
some people in Darren's mention or some other characters there as new
Yeah.
too, but that's
Yes,
not what I meant. New.
There will also be new features in the new version that we really need some feedback. They're new for us.
I know
They're new
which
for you,
feature you're
and
talking about.
we need your feedback to find out what works well and what doesn't work well. So while we have some time to make it to fix it, we need your feedback to know what you feel about.
Yeah.
And no, Cold Bluff. Unfortunately, Community Quest won't be cinematic. It will be a drawn video trailer. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you very much
Thank
for
you.
being with us
Thank you.
today. Thank you guys for
Thank
joining
you.
me again.
Thank you for
Missing
Yeah.
you so
Yeah,
much
it was nice.
during these streams.
for asking to join. Yes, I remember stuff.
There won't be a stream this Friday, unfortunately, because I'm going to be vaccinated. By the
I'm
way,
actually going to be vaccinated. The second vaccine today.
Yeah.
cool.
Oh,
Congratulations.
congrats.
Today on Friday.
But please join us
Also good.
the next
Also,
Wednesday.
I'm just stupid.
See ya.
See you.
see ya.
Bye.
See
Thank
ya.
you.
Bye.
Bye.